Bam! That was better. Bam! 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 Hello everybody, Ray here from Two Gaming Girls, and today we're doing some blueprint updates on our Mop Farm. So we're going to start with the larger one, and then I'll show you the changes we've made to the smaller one as well. So this was our five level 4 chunk Mop Farm. If you want to know the details about placement and all that, you can look at the earlier video. This one's going to just cover kind of the changes. So one, the doorway now makes sense. Before it was some vine craziness. This outside area is still left open for you to do whatever you want. You can have some kind of garden farm here going. You could have some kind of beeswax farm, whatever you want to do out here for yourself. You can also expand this whole area so that this is all livable, workable space. Whatever you want, you can do it. So our inside area has changed slightly. We've redone this room. It's a little bit smaller and tighter, but I think it functions better. This is left open for you to, again, customize as you want. I have 2 beds in here for Tim and I. You can do whatever. You just have one, more, whatever. I do still have this in place for healing. Instead of over here on this long wall, it's just 3. So every time you kind of walk in and out of the area, you'll also get a little boost in health. And as you see, we just got in this area and there's things forming even in the daytime. But this received most of the changes. So one, there's some cosmetic changes. I just added this. One is an indicator of where you can still be hit. And if you step behind this, step behind the line, basically, you should be safe from all mobs no matter what their range. In there, it's just kind of our drop area, so I added a little different texture in there. And then for these slabs and these solid blocks, I changed them out to be glass, just so you could kind of see what was happening a little bit better. And then someone commented on one of the videos that I should move the teleporter up into the air so that the mobs would drop down and none of the bags would get caught on the teleporter, which I have done before, and I don't know why I didn't do it on this. It makes perfect sense. So thank you again to whoever did that. I'm sorry I'm blanking on the name right now, but huge thank you to you for suggesting that. So other changes are, this is still here, but we now have kind of our floor processors and forges on this side, and it extends over here. We no longer have steps. So this whole entrance over there, technically the steps are there. I didn't take them all down, but I did close it off, so that won't be in the blueprint anymore. It should make placement a lot easier, so we'll be able to start from the corner that you want to place your right in the corner of the claim. And then over here we have a new storage area again. This got changed a little. There's just 3 over here. You can do what you want in those. We have a new archway, again, more cosmetic changes. And then this has changed. Before, our lights were up against the wall, and now they're on the floor. And they're on the floor because we're using the wall space back here for teleporters. Instead of stairs, you can now go directly to level 1 and see what's going on here, which the light told us there was nothing going on. So we'll go to level 2. And you can see there's some mobs over there. All this is wired, and we now have blueprints, so you won't have to wire it yourself. Other changes we made is that on these levels we now have double doors here. I'm on creative mode, so I have to remember to swap it over to non-creative and kind of see what happens to the mobs. And the mobs glitch a lot, so what will happen is a lot of them will spawn in this doorways. The weirdest thing, no matter what, they'll spawn here, and because the door is closed, they'll get shot up into the air and land down. And I'll show you what I've done to fix that problem. But sometimes they don't go all the way shoot up. Sometimes they actually spawn out here in the hallway. So this door is just to give you that barrier of, okay, Lord, there's creatures there, maybe I don't want to be here after all. Or if you want, you can open up the doors and fight them across the gap. They can kind of get across the gap, but it does give you a little space. If you back up, most of the time they move away as well. So all this is safety. We have removed all the teleporters. This is something I did, but I didn't have it on video, and I don't think it was in the blueprint. I can't remember, but all the teleporters that used to be in here are gone. I think Abler had the great idea. Once again, it was that kind of duh moment. So instead of doing that, we now use the pathing that they do, and we leave this open. They don't see these teleporters. We leave it open, and there's 2 here, and it needs to be 4 like this so that when one goes through, sometimes they glitch and walk through the teleporter. With them doubled up like this, they for sure get transported down to the bottom kill box. If they're in the hallway, then they will still path in this direction eventually and walk through. So that secures the hallway and this internal area. You can still get up here. It's often good to come and check and see if there's any chests that have spawned. You can see way over there we have a Muru that's going into the teleporter now. So he should be down here shortly. And I think he's coming down. He might have turned around. They eventually end up down here. So other changes we made would be on the top floor. So the top floor, I've been playing with different settings. I have this kind of daytime nighttime roof. If it doesn't work for you, I would suggest just totally covering it up or leaving it open. I have sand here. Not that it's something you greatly need most of the time, but I just wanted to mix it up and show you could have a daytime level, but you can replace this with whatever you want. So in the daytime, you know, the light will come through the glass and you can still have crabs spawn, but it is quite dark enough that when things come through, they can survive long enough to get over here into the walkway. See, there's one in the hallway. Don't ask me how they get out there. And then I have this feature. So again, with the mobs, it doesn't matter what level. They can be on the first level. They will still shoot all the way up in there, just the same way you do if you ever glitched way up in there. They'll go way up there, and then they'll come down and they'll land on the roof. So having this opening, they will again path towards this hole, and then eventually make their way to the teleporter. Now, I know, again, some of you aren't on a creative server, so what I've done is I've made a safety area. Let's see if I can get up there through it. There we go. Alright, so it's open right now, so this Muru is going to, as you saw, he went up in the air, he's going to drop down. If a player comes by, a sensor will pick it up, and it says, "Don't fall in, death below," and those close. As soon as they move away, it'll open back up. So this just keeps most people, if they really want to, they can eventually try to glitch in and fall down. Can I make it? There we go. You can fall in, but you've warned them. So if they come down here, it's on them. It's their problem they need to fix. So we're gonna head out and not leave all of our doors open. So we'll go back downstairs, see what we've caught so far. So this, I believe, again is, no, it is nighttime. It just started. So there should be more things that'll be dropping down soon. I have the levels set up right now, kind of like they were before, other than the top floor, as you saw, was all sand, and then the 4th floor has half of it is snow. This spawns a decent amount of Arctic Mirus most of the time. Every now and then you get an Arctic Chizard. I will have another separate blueprint that's for this 12 by 12 area so that you can change these areas out and they can be whatever you want. If you want this entire thing to be corruption, if you want this whole thing to be a lava, whatever you want, you can mix each level, and within each level you can split it up into the separate chunks. So this is one chunk, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So that is most of the changes. I'm gonna go ahead downstairs and we're gonna let a whole night happen and see how many things we get in our kill box after that. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. It's been about a night and a half really, and you can see we got a decent amount of things in there. I have no idea how many, but there's a lot in there, and that's what really matters. It's not exactly what you see, because that's dependent upon what you want to put down on each of your levels. It's more about how many things can spawn from this. And this is actually pretty light. I think from what I've noticed, I just logged into the server for this, and this is what I get. If I've, you know, been on the server a while, I can be elsewhere, come in, but I think it gives me a good amount, like way more than this. We get more things too, which, you know, drops recipes, so those are nice. So I think it kind of helps if you've been on the server. You don't even have to be in the area, but if you've been on the server for a while, that does a decent amount of spawns. Alright, a few more things I forgot to mention. One, thank you to Drake. He was the one that suggested moving the teleporter up so that they could drop down, you could get the bags. This is the light switch. It used to be over there, so now we can turn on the light. This will light up and indicate that there's a light. We also have the same indicator lights out here. So this is for level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If they turn red, mobs are on that level. This green indicator means that there's something in the kill box, which clearly there is. This yellow means that there's something in the area. So this will light up if there's anything in the kill box, but if the yellow light is on and the green light is off, it means that there's something out here. So it's just an FYI. If you're concerned about that, you can keep an eye on that. You can also close up that doorway if you want a little bit more security. And then again, the blue light lets you know that your light switch is on. Please note that light is not actually going to, and I need to fix that. I need to do an and or gate, so I'll fix that before I upload it. But that light is not going to actually stop mobs from farming. It's more just so you can see if chests have spawned. And another thing to note, I kept these in. These are kind of a safety precaution. It lets you, if they spawn, to kill across it. But if you're kind of glitchy and it causes problems, you know, fill it in and just use the doors as your protection. So when you come up here to check for chests, what I have found is that the corruption section normally spawns more chests than anything else. 9 times out of 10, if I get a chest, it's on corruption. So take that and use it as you will. So I think that's everything for this. Again, lots of cosmetic changes, some efficiency changes, and now we're going to go over and see the smaller Mop Farm. So now we're over at the new smaller Mop Farm. I've increased the levels by 3, and as you can see, I spent the night, and it's been one full night, and we caught, I think there are 2 of the corrupted chizards in there. I think they're standing on top of each other. A thing, a miru, and 1 keepa. So we got 4 to 5 creatures in there, which is really cool. One of them being a thing which drops recipes. This area now has built-in chests. You can use this or not. It also has processors and forges down here. There is a bed for sleeping. This is more for personal storage. And there's teleporters now. But before we do that, we're going to look at the area that hasn't changed much. This is what, let me turn the light on. This is what the bottom level mostly looked like already. We added some doors along the sides to kind of keep out any creatures that might get caught in the hallway, just like with the big mob spawn. And then this goes to level 2 and level 3, just like in the larger mob spawner. Alright, so this is level 2. Now, ooh, we got a chest. So, again, these can spawn chests. So, nothing super special. You can change this floor out as well. This is slightly larger than the one below. This is the same area, and then this extends over where this area is. So the mob farm on the levels above come all the way over to about here, which gives you about another half a chunk to work with. And then up here we have the other one, and just like with the larger one, there is a trapdoor system for anything that gets thrown up to come down here. And if it stays open normally, and if a player comes by, it will say danger, it will close up and not let them in. And that is it for our larger one. I'll back up so you can kind of see what this one looks like. I personally would redecorate it. I decided not to do a whole lot because there's so many different things you can do with it, and I didn't want to have so many different blocks. You had trouble redesigning this on your own. You can take this layer out, you can add columns, you can do the world to this design, but the basis of it is here. This light lets you know if there's something inside of this, and that is it for our newly updated farms. And you know what? It looks like it's not done. I waited another couple minutes, and even though it's daylight, we're still getting new mobs. So yeah, I think this is a great adjustment. And that change is the whole reason for this update of the smaller farm. The feedback was that this area right here was only giving us about 1 mob per night. So now that we've increased it by 2 more levels and extended those 2 levels about another half a chunk, we're getting, you know, 4, 5. Well, we got 5 for sure, and then waited a little bit longer, we got another 2 or 3. So we're getting just under 10 mobs per night now. That's a huge increase from the 1 mob. So hopefully those that were experiencing trouble with this farm before will enjoy this one better. And so that's it for our teleporter mob farm updates. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, please comment, leave some feedback. We love hearing that. Take care. Bam! That was better. Bam! Bam! Bam!